You are listening to the Inverted Creative Podcast. I'm Allison.
And I'm Jen.
I'm Bryant.
I'm Mikhile.
And I'm Nate.
Hey guys.
Hey.
You know what architecture at theme parks should be called?
What?
Parkitecture.
Dude. I don't think anyone's ever come up with that before. That's genius.
That's good, isn't it?
Uh-huh.
So anyway.
Anyway.
Oh, I know. I totally thought about that. Not the doctor. Today's going to be an episode of throwing this to the new guys because Allison is very mentally checked out. Even on an episode that she suggested in the first place.
Also, just let the record show, Allison loves architecture.
I do,
by the
actually.
Way.
I truly do.
To the point where she studied it in college.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you have a building that's like your favorite in
I do have a
Pittsburgh.
favorite building. Yeah.
Yeah. It's really cool. It is a cool building.
It is. And we gotta go there at some point together.
Yeah. This is the episode that Allison chooses to check out.
I'm sorry I had a bad mental health day. And I texted Nate earlier. I'm like, I feel really off today mentally, and like this is a struggle. So perfect day to record a podcast. And that's why I have my two new co-hosts that love to talk about things they don't know a lot about.
I am known to be a yapper. I think Mikhile mentioned he's also known to be a yapper.
At times. So we should be well equipped for this.
We have a lot of notes, honestly.
We do have a lot of notes. But there's one pinnacle of park architecture, or parkitecture, if you will. It's so nice. They did it thrice. The Epcot ball. And then they got rid of one, apparently, because Fantasialand decided they didn't want it anymore.
Yeah, so now it's twice.
So nice they did it twice now. Yeah. But
I was just trying to look for what the name of the attraction was inside the I don't know if it was the third. I don't know if Fantasialand did it before Europa Park or vice versa. But Fantasialand's Epcot ball, there was something in there, but that is what they got rid of to replace with an attraction I'm sure we'll get onto at some point in the episode.
Oh, yeah. Okay, that makes sense. I didn't know that either. But yeah. I do know that Can Coaster is in one of them, and then the other one has Spaceship Earth, so
yeah,
I do know ball there.
Ball.
Yeah. Catch that?
How long were you waiting to make that joke?
I actually, as I said it, I was like, oh, that's really funny. I didn't even plan that joke at all.
Damn, I'm good.
Yeah.
Anyway, thank the Phoenicians, I guess.
So the Phoenicians can get down to business. If you know that reference, leave a comment somehow.
I am not one who knows that reference.
It's okay. It's a very niche one. It's from late high school, I think, for me.
So like 4 years ago.
8 years ago. Don't know why I corrected you on that, but I did.
Not 4. 5.
I wish it was, still only 5.
Don't I know it?
Yeah, it's okay.
When did I graduate? Oh, I'm almost at my 20-year reunion.
I was going to say it's definitely above 15 for me. My goodness.
Oh, I'm going to go die now.
I'm nearing 10.
Shut up.
I am. I'm nearing 10.
I'm nearing 20.
I'm nearing 10 years since I graduated university.
Ooh, I'm at 4 for that right now.
Oh, I hate everything. I'm just gonna go crumble into dust over here.
Speaking of cool architecture,
I was gonna say, speaking of crumble into dust.
Yeah, well, my campus had a really cool chapel on campus called the White Chapel at Rose Holman. It's pretty cool. I just want to shout that out because I thought of architecture because we're talking about architecture. Ours is more park related,
Or
but still,
two of us are at least.
yeah, at least two of us.
2.5 maybe.
Maybe.
I have actually loved architecture for most of my life. From like 6th grade until I started college, I was dead set on being an architecture major. I had every intention of going to Georgia Tech for architecture. That was my plan for many, many years. Went to a different school for architecture, but then I was doing like 3 all-nighters a week because if you don't know, architecture programs are often called architorture. And they mean that. And I was so sleep deprived I was hallucinating in calculus. So
Yeah, Allison was trying to be my my arch nemesis.
I was gonna say, so her childhood dream was to be someone Nate hates.
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'm a mechanical engineer, so it's more the civil engineers that hate architects, but I can still jump on that bandwagon.
You can empathize.
Yeah, I understand why they would not like that.
But see, now I like, for my day job, I kind of work both sides of that, like doing the creative aspect, but then also the actually making that creative thing happen side of it. Telling people, hey, that ain't gonna work.
You got to start working with like load bearing beams and then get back to me.
I work with signage, okay? Which another episode we still need to do is park signage, but I need to write a thesis for that one first, so
that's understandable
given my line of work.
Yeah.
But that said, I do love architecture, even though I dropped out of that major by I think by October I decided I didn't want to be in architecture anymore. And I switched to an English major.
I wish I was mathematically inclined enough to do either architecture or some form of engineering. It would make my aspirations a lot easier to attain.
I was mathematically inclined about 15 years ago. Not anymore. All I retained from calculus is the word differentiation and that it had like the little S-looking squiggle.
You already got it wrong.
What?
That would be an integral. You're talking about a derivative, so you didn't get the word right, and then you got
I know the
word derivative instead of what?
I know the word differentiation.
Okay.
That's about it. I don't remember anything about it anymore.
All right.
I got a 3 on my AP calculus test, and then didn't technically have to take math in college, and then I still did as a GPA booster because I was a nerd. I was a big old nerd.
GPA booster takes calculus.
Yeah, and then I hallucinated through classes and still got 106 on the tests. So,
wow.
I was really good at math. I also tested above calculus, and I still took calculus because I intended to take physics because I was an architecture major.
Well, I had to take physics and calc, but I was told that I would be ready for calc 2. And I was like, yeah, I don't believe you. So I took Calc 1, and then like all of Calc 1 and some of into Calc 2 was all stuff I'd learned already. However, it's engineering school, so I still didn't do very well. But I did pass everything. So
yeah, I switched to an English major and very promptly never used calculus once again in my life.
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, there's a lot of software you can plug in that does the calculus for you, but you got to learn it to know how to use it. So, and know if it's correct.
And now I'm in design and really don't use much more than algebra and geometry.
Algebra sucks.
This is good conversation because we don't have any trip recaps to do.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't have a trip recap. You already heard what I did last week.
What did I do last weekend?
I had my grandparents come visit, and that was fun.
Oh, that's right.
Didn't you go to Kentucky last weekend?
You did. You went to Owensboro, Allison.
Oh, that's right. I went to a convention.
Yeah.
That had nothing to do with roller coasters whatsoever. I actually took a road trip without Mike.
I was about to say Kentucky Kingdom, but then I realized
That was two.
there's more to
weeks
there's more to Kentucky than Kentucky.
Yeah.
That's
There
what
is
they
corn
want
in
you to
Owensboro,
think.
That's what they want you to think.
But
There's more than corn in Indiana.
There's more than a +1 in Owensboro. Even though apparently I went to the 7 Brew right next to Maui's and didn't even realize it.
Well, you'd already been there and ridden.
Yes, I did already have that cred.
And there is a swimming pool in Owensboro. I know because I swam there once, maybe twice.
A whole swimming pool?
Like
Wow.
like a 50-meter pool that they split into two 25s.
Sure.
Or in the summer they use it as a full 50-meter.
Sure.
Yeah. I didn't go to Owensboro a whole lot, but been there before.
Yeah, I went to sell books at a convention, and we didn't sell a huge amount of books, but we had a lot of fun, made some connections, and then I bought one entire thing from the convention, and it was because a bumper sticker made a Sky High reference, so I had to buy it.
That works.
Yeah.
Allison, I've got a question.
Oh no.
It's not that hard of a question.
Okay.
Do you? Well, maybe it is. Do you have a favorite piece of architecture in any amusement park? It could be Disney, Universal, it doesn't matter. Like, do you have something that sticks out to you as your favorite?
Oh, we're just jumping into the episode now?
I don't know. I just wanted to ask.
I'm just talking about architecture.
Yeah.
One that I was really fascinated by was the Peach's Castle in Epic Universe.
That's valid.
Yeah. It just looked really pretty, and it looked very true to Mario 64.
Oh yeah. It does. It looks exactly like Mario 64. Which I played the remastered version on the Nintendo DS, but still looked exactly like it.
Yeah.
Now, if I skipped anything with that question, we can go loop back around.
What do you mean?
I don't know. You said I'm going right into the episode, so.
Oh no, I just wasn't expecting that
Sorry.
transition. So I have had architecture on my list of potential episode ideas for a long time, like since we started the podcast. And once we got the meet the new co-host episode, I'm like, well, I have no more ideas right now, so let's pick one from my list. So I picked architecture. Not knowing I was going to have a not great day, and my brain is no worky today, but I can still talk about things. I'm sure there will be a lot of overlap with like other creative things, especially like ones that we've already done, like station design and like
Park entrance
plazas.
Yeah.
I like how you knew exactly what I was about to say, even though
Because I
didn't.
Because I have one in mind.
Oh yeah. And then I put a note on here, like we could also dip into on-site resorts, and I have at least one on my list that I want to mention at some point today. But I do want to do resorts as its own episode at some point.
Oh yeah. I mean,
From
talking about how a resort,
or just in general.
Say that again, Mikhile.
From an architectural standpoint,
just
resorts, or just in general.
Just in general.
Oh, okay.
So like talking about architecture, theming, immersion, relationship to the park, proximity.
That will get added to the list.
Yes,
if it's not already.
Is it? I don't think it is. I can mark off architecture.
But yeah, no, I can't really say I've had like a long-standing fascination with architecture. It's definitely something that has grown as I've gotten older and just developed an appreciation for like visual communication and stuff in terms of in terms of with theme parks, how they can communicate a style and a mood and stuff, and then developing a real affinity for that area of really more so just thematic world building. I became more clued on to different architectural styles like throughout the world, really, and in the history of city building, the history of infrastructure and stuff. through there, I found out how interesting different regional architectural styles that relate back to different time periods, throughout Europe, throughout Asia, throughout the Americas as well, actually can pop up in different themed attractions in different parts as well. So it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy, or just like my awareness coming full circle a little bit.
Do you have a favorite architectural style overall, like not just theme parks?
I would say I have a couple at least. I've really developed a fascination with Art Nouveau and Art Deco stylings, just in how free flowing and how really just free of form they can be, in terms of their application. You see a lot. You don't see, especially with Art Nouveau, maybe a little less so with Art Deco, but you don't see a lot of straight lines. Although, like the forms that their decorative characteristics can take often do stick to like straight and rigid forms, as it like when it comes to how decorative and artsy you can make doors, window frames, stair railings, things like that, things that are otherwise very ordinary and mundane to look at. They become really integral in just communicating a time period. I'm sure we'll get to like different displays of architectural styles with different attractions and stuff, but
considering that's the heading for one of your sections of notes.
Indeed. Wow, way to out me to the world like that. Thanks. But yeah, I had written down Ride to Happiness as well, and just the for anyone who has been to Plopsaland, Belgium, or just like has an awareness of like what that station building and the maintenance building looks like. There's a lot of and just that themed area by Ride to Happiness as well. There's a lot of Art Nouveau inspiration in a lot of the architecture of the buildings, and throughout, and in the thematic fixtures, like throughout that part, throughout that land, which is really well done. Really connects the style that they wanted to go for that attraction with the naturalistic look that Plopsaland Belgium has, and it works really well.
Yeah, I think Ride to Happiness is beautiful. Like the whole thing, just entrance, walk up. They got that stained glass. It's really cool.
I actually had to look up like elements of Art Nouveau architecture, characterized by asymmetrical facades, flowing whiplash curves, and the use of modern industrial materials like iron, glass, and ceramics to create fluid living forms. Yeah, that fits for Ride to Happiness.
Oh yeah, and I had actually not really even heard of Art Nouveau before you mentioned it, so I'm learning.
Nate's gonna learn today.
I'm gonna learn today.
You gonna learn today.
I mean, I've obviously seen this places, but I just didn't know what I was looking at.
You just don't know like the names of the styles, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, I know names of styles. Like I have favorites. I hadn't heard of Art Nouveau specifically.
So what's your favorite style then?
I was trying to decide. Well, Mikhile was talking about his, because I love like Baroque style architecture, and I really have an obsession with like medieval stuff. Like I love castles and bricks, or like the like block style bricks, and any park that tries to like emulate that immediately like becomes a little bit better for me. I know we'll start getting into parks later, but like, what's the drop tower at Phantasialand called again?
Mystery Castle.
Mystery Castle. Love how Mystery Castle looks.
Sorry. Mystery Castle.
Mystery Castle. That Karnan looks really cool. I don't know if I can pronounce this correctly, but we'll be talking about this park later. Vliegende Hollander.
Oh, where's Jen when you need her?
Oh yeah,
That
yeah.
whole like the queue building, where the ride comes out, all of that is awesome. So like
Vliegende de Hollander.
yeah, I don't know if those are all necessarily just medieval, but they're all castle style things that are just really cool. And like the castle ruins that they try to do in Turnanog area at Emerald Park is really cool.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I really love Baroque style as well, like just like out in the wild or whatever where we see.
Full disclosure, we are probably going to get into a lot of Disney stuff in this episode. Probably like inevitably, but we're gonna do our best to try and highlight different displays of architectural styles and just like things that other parks do well, like in non Disney / Universal parks as well, because there's a lot to praise and a lot to comment on, like just in parks in general.
Mikhile is already making this podcast sound a lot smarter.
I agree.
Thanks, I try.
With a quick Google search, I've learned that one of my favorite architectural buildings has some Art Nouveau to it, and I didn't even realize. It's like Spanish late Gothic and Art Nouveau. It's the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. That is on my bucket list, high on my bucket list to go to. They just finished it, by the way. It just got completed after like 200 plus years. They've been building it for, if you don't know the lore of the Sagrada Familia, it's been being built. I mean, Anthony Gaudi died like 100 years ago this year, and it was his life's work, and it took him like, it's been under construction for a very.
Is it this year? Oh man,
I think it's this year because when they completed it, there were like 100 years to the year that Anthony Gaudi passed. They finished it. So
that's wild.
That's a little bit of architectural lore that I guess I know.
Yeah. First of all, congratulations on finding a way to seamlessly weave the Sagrada Familia into this conversation.
He did say originally that was his goal.
Which is why I applauded.
Yeah.
But yeah, no. I have been inside the Sagrada Familia.
I can't wait.
Gorgeous. I love that building. And it's been storied for obviously, decades upon decades of just like how it's, been in the process of being finished for so long. I actually kind of liked the idea of it never being finished.
I did like that.
And always
perpetually unfinished.
I did really want to see it before it was finished, but then it just popped up on my feed the other day. It was like, oh, they finished it. I was like, oh.
Well,
I still really want to see it. Like, that doesn't change my desire to see it, but
yeah,
the whole it being under construction has been the thing. Apparently, he died on June 10th, 1926. So there's a non-zero chance they finished it 100 years to the day he died. Because I don't remember what day they finished it.
8 days ago?
Yeah.
That's
about when I saw it in my feed.
What day did
I could see
they finish? How do you spell that? Sagrada?
I got it.
Sagrada Familia.
I don't know. It's 144 years since it started being built.
The final piece and cross of the Tower of Jesus Christ were installed in February 26.
Oh, okay. So I saw it later than I thought, but still 100 years since he passed.
Yeah, this is secondary elements, sculptures, and the monumental glory facade will continue to be built with final completion expected around 2030 to 2033.
Okay, so like the main structure is finished, but not. It's not fully done. Yeah. Okay, so I still got time to see some construction around it.
Structural completion on February 20th.
Okay.
So.
There we go.
What's funny is when you go and see it, like, and stand like nearby it, stand in front of it and stuff, you can see sections. Like you can see the sections of the building that look way older than the parts that they've
wow.
improved upon and added. You can see, like, and I kind of like that as well. Like, I like that they didn't do what I mean. Like, not that I know this to be intentional or not, but like you can see. I like that you can see the sections that are newer than the original, like spires, the original bridges, the original towers, stuff like that. Definitely, it's almost like looking at a timeline of its construction, in a sense.
That is really cool.
Just juxtaposition of old versus new, right next to each other.
Yeah,
that's a great.
Not hiding the past.
Accent.
But yeah, no. Yeah, Art Nouveau as a style is like I feel like I mean it's said to like in terms of its consistency date back to like late 19th, early 20th century and stuff, so it's not as old as some other styles, some of the styles that date back to like the 13th, 14th century, even like the 9th or 10th century and stuff. But I feel like it does inform a lot of the more modern styles that we see just in buildings in general. I feel like there's a lot of like style fusions that take place. Some evident in theme parks as well that use like just the architectural behavior found in Art Nouveau as well.
Yeah.
So it's very influential in a lot of ways.
I'll probably notice it more now that you've mentioned it and it brought my attention to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I know like my favorite style of architecture, I can't honestly think of like any immediate examples at theme parks. I love Gothic architecture.
Yeah, that's fairly.
I was thinking about Gothic architecture. Earlier as well,
because I know I have an obsession with the Cathedral of Learning in Pittsburgh, which I think Nate mentioned already when we started the episode. And that's definitely Gothic architecture. I think it's, what did Google say? Late Gothic revival architecture infused with elements of Art Deco and modern skyscraper engineering. But I am absolutely obsessed with that building. I could go just sit there and stare all day. And I almost cried the first time I got to go in it because I was so excited. Because I had been looking at that building for 20 years.
Yeah, that's awesome, though.
Getting a chance to actually go inside.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that's a style that's often used at theme parks, or I can't think of any offhand. I'm sure there's some European parks that have some Gothic elements, but can't think of any offhand.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I'm thinking about you had mentioned it off recording, but Alton Manor.
Mm-hmm.
Like not the new dark ride, the actual manor in the middle.
Oh yeah.
Like has elements of really kind of like both of what you guys were talking about, like Gothic architecture in some of the spires, and then Nate, when you mentioned like medieval and sort of castle work, stonework used in castles and stuff. There's definitely a lot to be found in Alton Manor, which is such a unique establishment to find in a park, and really because the manor was there before any of the rest of the park was.
Yeah,
like that's what Alton Towers is built around, right?
I mean, in that case, you're fusing like an actual establishment that then had a park built around it,
right? Yeah,
like something that pre-existed, like the whole park.
I wish we had more time to explore that when we were there.
Yeah,
It was very much a day of get all the creds.
that day was a little bit rushed because of how big that park is.
Right.
But it was still really cool to walk by and see them.
And for the fact that it's open for like 20 minutes a day.
Yeah. Closing at, what did it close at 6?
It's something.
Yeah.
Oh, you got it on a good day then.
Oh my goodness.
Closes at 4 p.m. a lot of days.
4 p.m. That is too early. You hear me, Alton Towers? That's too early.
If Alton Towers listens to the Inverted Creative Podcast, we'll have more questions and answers for you.
Well, all I'm going to say is if they do happen to hear this, that's too early. I mean, keep it at least till 6, and even that is too early in my opinion. But that's okay.
Yeah, I think like on our honeymoon, like almost everything closed at 6 except for Groenland.
Yeah, because Groenland's like a city integrated nighttime style kind of park.
Yeah,
that's insane.
Yes, it is there.
Yes, it is insane. The Swedish insane.
Oh yeah. So I mean, yeah, Groenland's different. Oh, Tivoli Gardens claims to close at midnight, but doesn't actually close at midnight. I was ranting about this before we even started the podcast, and I happened to get the perfect segue into my complaints about Tivoli Gardens. Except the good thing about Tivoli Gardens is that it fits really well into architecture. Because if you don't know about it, it is quite literally in downtown Copenhagen, and the outside walls of Tivoli Gardens match the surrounding architecture perfectly. They just close all their rides like 2 hours before the alleged park close at midnight, and they don't post that anywhere and don't tell you, and will yell at you if you try to ride Richtbahn after they close it. So anyway,
but
Tivoli Gardens is beautiful. Yeah, it's beautiful. They've got arches at each corner, I believe, that you can enter the park from 4 sides because it's on a city block, and then inside, they actually have a pretty large and lit up pagoda, which is very cool. And I got to see it at nighttime. And so it's a very beautiful park that on the inside, it's an amusement park, or well, a theme park, really, with lots of lights and lots of beautiful buildings. But the main thing that has to do with the architecture of it is just how well it blends in with the rest of Copenhagen surrounding it. And it is really fascinating if you can get past the fact that they spited me out of a Breakman roller coaster.
But at least it was pretty.
It was very pretty. I will give it that for sure. It was very pretty. And I was excited to go there until I left. But
until I was forced to leave.
Yeah.
2 hours early.
I mean, yeah, I did. I still left before midnight, but I could have technically stayed in there. They were physically open. They just didn't have their rides open.
So, I mentioned Art Nouveau before, but I wouldn't really say I have like one singular favorite architectural style, just in general. Like I mentioned Art Deco as well, which I think is a little bit more on the post World War II side of things, because it's been used in a lot of and I might be a little bit off base with this, but like I seem to remember it being used in a lot of sort of like post World War II propaganda kind of posters and stuff. But it kind of brings a more like technical imagery sort of feel to what Art Nouveau accomplishes. I just associate it with a lot more straight lines, and as well as the more so like free flowing imagery as well. But Art Deco is definitely one of them. Brutalist architecture.
I was waiting to see if someone mentioned that.
Well,
oh really?
Yeah, Brutalist.
If you look in the show notes, Nate, it is mentioned.
Oh, I had architecture pulled up on my screen. Okay, Brutalist. Yeah.
Yeah.
My bad. I had the wrong screen pulled up.
The audacity.
Yeah, no, brutalist architecture is another one that I just appreciate, because I grew up in the 90s, where a lot of the buildings, like in my city of Leeds, and then a lot of buildings that I saw on like TV and stuff, used a lot of brutalist architecture. So it's kind of got like a bit of a nostalgic sort of feel to it, for me at least. And there's something to the intimidation factor of like what of that brutalist architecture can bring to the appearance of a building, I think.
We saw a very little taste of it in Poland when we
Yeah, I
went
was
to
just
the
thinking that.
Krakow Eye, and you brought up the intimidation factor. I I can see that. Like honestly, walking up to it, it was kind of, I don't know. It was a bit daunting. It was like, well, this is kind of in your
Yeah,
face, kind of wild, and it's just like, hard corners, concrete buildings, a very gray looking
yeah,
style, typically
Very ominous feeling.
ominous for sure.
yeah.
And but it was really cool to see like in person, like a legit, probably Soviet era uh brutalist structure, or a
Mm.
few of them. We walked right under one that was quite brutalist.
Are you talking about the one that like we had to go?
Like we parked behind it, then we
Yeah,
walked under it.
yeah.
That's the building I
Like
think
that.
of first of like all of what we saw there.
Yeah, I feel like
Um,
there were definitely some others, but that one definitely.
there were
stands out.
definitely others, yeah.
I think there's not that I've heard anyone mention this about this attraction, but I kind of do think there's a good example of brutalist architecture used in quite a high profile attraction. Like when you think about it, Velocicoaster, that station building has a lot of brutalist characteristics to it. Like when you look past the entrance sign and what all you associate with just like how Velocicoaster looks and feels visually.
Yeah.
The station building, it's a lot of um what's the word? It's a lot of like just stained stone faces,
Mhm.
like on the outside, let alone like when you get into like past the raptor paddocks and stuff, and you get
Yeah.
into the locker area, those exposed like stone walls with not very much on them at all. And it
Yeah.
just becomes even more so once you get up into the pre-show room, and then into the loading platform as well. Like there's a lot of that kind of um ominous experiment, like scientific experimental kind of feel
Yeah, you have
to.
like the heavy duty concrete kind of
Yeah,
like precast or poured concrete,
right.
all the hard corners, and paint for not the purpose to make it look pretty, but the purpose to make it substantial
Look,
and hold
yeah,
up over time. And then yeah, in the
exactly.
case of Velocicoaster, for the theming to make it look ominous and daunting.
Testing facility essentially.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think some of the Velocicoaster queue, kind of like where the statues are, kind of going through that. The front entrance, some of it feels a little bit contemporary, like
Hmm.
postmodern.
mm,
But I
yeah,
can see where you're coming from with the brutalist too, from all the paddock and out front and the lines.
right.
Um, and well, the paddock makes a lot of sense because they're trying to fortify it to not let out real live raptors.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So
Real live
put a
raptors.
coaster in the paddock. What could go wrong? They're quicker than you realize, Claire. They're quicker than she
She
realizes.
realizes.
You know what this architecture needs? More teeth.
More teeth.
Incredible problem solvers. But yeah. I also had classical down on here as well.
Mm.
When you think back to like ancient Greek and Roman, times, like the architectural styles used on the buildings of importance in those times. Also, I know you've recently just seen the Pantheon in person.
Yes.
Like the
Yeah,
actual
that was
Pantheon.
my 500th coaster. Oh, you mean the actual one? Sorry.
Yeah, we had a great rain ride on Pantheon because it's pouring when we saw it. We did not go in the Pantheon; we just saw the outside of it.
Yeah, I've same. I've seen it in person. I've not been inside, but yeah, like that kind of architecture, especially when you're able to like stage the architectural the ancient like ruins of those buildings. I just find really interesting as a symbolic piece to be able to tell the story of those civilizations from back in those centuries.
This just makes me so disappointed to think about the coaster Pantheon after going to Rome and seeing the architecture there.
Yeah, because Pantheon has like an entrance sign, and that's about all the architecture it has.
They should have done so much, especially like seeing the Forum in person.
There's so much grassland out there they could have built around where the coaster goes.
Yeah,
but
Escape from Pompeii has better theming.
Yeah, I was gonna say Escape from Pompeii is actually pretty cool.
Roman Rapids has better theming.
Yeah.
Rapids behind Pantheon.
But
the power of the 5 Roman gods does nothing for theming.
Not to go back to Islands of Adventure, but I'm going back to Islands of Adventure.
We're going to go back there a lot.
We're going to go to Poseidon's Fury, rest in peace. And that whole Lost Continent area was very Greek and Roman ruin-esque. Well, Poseidon is a Greek god, so there you go. But that area, despite it being quite aged and not really a popular area at the end of its life, was really cool to see and walk through. And, you know, I actually really love Poseidon's Fury. I got to do it in 2006 and then again in 2015. And yeah, that's right. And I don't know if maybe I did it in 2019. But it was just a walkthrough attraction, but it was so well done, I think. It was a product of its time, but that whole area was very cool. And
yeah, I liked it a lot. I did the walkthrough in 2022, I think it was. Because I think it closed the year after.
Yeah.
I did it the one time. It was really quite fun.
Yeah, you could see some of the screens were getting outdated from like late 90s, but like it was still a very cool attraction. Yeah.
Worth noting in that same area is Mythos, or I guess whatever. It's being rethemed, isn't it?
I'm not sure about that. I don't know what's going
on. As far as I've heard, it's supposed to be being rethemed and turned into a quick service restaurant, and they're planning to turn the Thunder Falls restaurant in Jurassic Park into the park's like proper sit down restaurant.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So there's still gonna be like a proper, hopefully good sit down restaurant in the park. It's just gonna be in Jurassic Park as opposed to.
Yeah, because I know Mikhile, me and you did Mythos.
Yeah.
Years ago, and it was gorgeous inside. Absolutely loved it, but the food was just not great from what I remember. We were very let down.
I had some kind of pasta dish. I can't remember which one it was, but I really liked mine. I'm not gonna lie.
I was whatever I got, I was disappointed. I don't remember why, but this was like 4 years ago. But
yeah.
Anyway, worth noting Mythos. Very pretty.
Yeah,
but
I don't think I ever went inside Mythos. I think you could eat outside. Is that correct?
I believe so.
I think I did that a couple times. I'm looking through some of my footage from 2015 of Poseidon's Fury and Mythos to see if I ate there, but I don't think I actually went inside of it. So unfortunate, but that's okay.
So to ring off a few of we can go into like favorite displays of or like notable displays of architectural styles in parks.
Yeah.
I had we can get the elephant out of the room. I had Fly at Fantasyland written down.
That area is so good.
For just the not that I could be completely forgetting any other instances, but probably the best execution of steampunk architecture in a park.
I would have to agree with that. I can't think of a better one.
Like when we talk about because I am gonna branch off and talk about like Jules Verne architecture as well, which kind of which steampunk is kind of inspired by. Like Jules Verne architecture you can see in a couple of different Disney parks, but like steampunk specifically, I don't really think you can do better than Fly at Rookburg.
Yeah,
At
Rookburg,
Fantasyland. That area is like everything that steampunk brings to like one's awareness, I think, is just done not only done in and included in Rookburg, but done really well. It's so tasteful without it just being like, hey, steampunk in your face. like there's a story interweaved in throughout all of the different buildings, the different fixtures, the air balloons on the area walls. It's all within the story of aeronautica that it's telling, like throughout that land, and it really feels like it doesn't feel like a theme park land. It really feels like you're in a city. Like one criticism that I've heard about Rookburg is that it doesn't have a focal point, so to speak. But you go ahead and tell me what city you've been to that has a singular focal point.
I'm like, to be fair, Fly is the focal point.
Yeah.
But it's kind of not though, because it's everywhere. Like it's right. It's not like one specific like thing.
Yeah.
Like
there's not a frame that it's in.
Onto. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's
you just walk in and it's all around you.
It's everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, like the city of Paris has the Eiffel Tower and the Arc de Triomphe. They're not one singular. You know, they're not singular focal points of the city. Like you can stand in so many different places in the city of Paris and not see either of them because you're just in the city. And I think Rookburg does that really well of making you feel like you're just implanted and immersed into a world that is just everywhere around you and happening everywhere around you.
Yeah.
You can kind of say Flight is the focal point just because it's the one attraction in the area. But again, yeah, like, I mean, I don't want to repeat myself, but like,
in a way, I guess like
all over the place.
The train is the focal point because I can stand there and just watch everywhere that train goes, trying to figure out where it goes through the episode through the land. Oh my gosh.
We will get back to you on updates on if Allison has found the train at the end.
Yeah. It's just a mess of track, but beyond the mess of track, it's a whole area. If you take out Fly, it's still like incredibly immersive and all around you. Obviously, Fly is the centerpiece and the reason they did all of it, but it's still phenomenally done. And Mikhile, you said you feel like you're in a city in that area. Most of Phantasialand feels like that to me.
Yeah. Oh, 1,000%.
Like Klugheim also feels very similar, just instead of, your steampunk design, it's a lot more of the, what would you call it, medieval, I would say, probably.
Like Viking almost.
Like Viking kind of.
Yeah, somewhere in between too.
Yeah, around those two. You've got the Chiapas, which is supposed to be like, is it
Mexico?
Mexico. Yeah, I was thinking Mexico, or And then obviously the African area of Black Mamba has the buildings that look like they're straight out of like Morocco, and just I could go on and on about Phantasialand and how well it does. Rookburg, I think, does it the best with the immersion, but that whole park is just full of just beautiful architecture everywhere.
I also think of, I don't even remember the name of it, but the tower that Winges is in that kids area.
Yeah,
there's a name for it. I don't remember what it's called.
I know what you're talking about.
Woozer Town,
something like that.
It's like the only area of Phantasialand I think that breaks immersion is when you see a giant Crazy Bats VR sign.
I wouldn't know. I haven't been on it.
You haven't walked by that part to see it says Crazy Bats VR?
I vaguely remember it, but I wasn't paying too much attention. Oh yeah, I do remember that sign. Okay.
Yeah. I've been scrolling through my phone to see like the Phantasialand pictures, so I didn't just have that saved somewhere. But
and then even aside from all those, you've got the main square of Berlin at the front of the park as well. Which is just gorgeous. And those buildings
that makes you feel like you're in a city too, easily.
Yeah.
And then everything is ruined by the front entrance.
Yeah, I didn't even go in that entrance.
Yeah.
I've been there one time, and I went in a side entrance by Mystery Castle.
Yeah, I've been there twice. Once was through Mystery Castle entrance, and once was through Matamba entrance. So I've not actually gone through it.
We've talked about that entrance before on
yeah, I'm sure. Like
on another episode.
Yeah.
Probably the Phantasialand episode or the park entrance episode.
Yeah, park entrances. Yeah. But I know Mikhile was on the Phantasialand episode.
Yeah. Yeah, if I didn't mention it there, which I probably did, but
I'm sure we mentioned it many times.
I actually really like the entrances as unassuming as it is. Just to make it almost gives the park a sort of speakeasy adjacent feel. That you just walk in. I can kind of see that. You just walk through like, what could be any mundane doorway or entrance, and then you're greeted by one of the most immersive theme parks on planet Earth.
Yeah.
Okay, this makes me think, and I'm gonna go back to Universal because we're gonna keep going back to Universal. The King's Cross entrance for Diagon Alley, where you go through that train station, or not train station, but that.
You're talking about through the wall.
Yeah, or whatever.
Because in Harry Potter lore, Diagon Alley is hidden through a brick wall.
But then you just go through that, and then you're in Diagon.
That feels like Rookburg, actually. They kind of feel somewhat similar.
Entrance.
Indeed. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I love the way they built that wall that you're talking about, because they built, two entrance. You've got the split entrance where you walk in normally. Then they've got a wall in front of you, so you have to go around it. And then they have that split entrance in the back too, so you have to. You feel like you're going through a wall, even though you're just walking around. It does feel like that, and I think that was genius. Obviously, they did it at Epic, going into Ministry. The Floo Powder is also another cool way to enter via Harry Potter style, but
that's a
that wall is just cool. Yeah,
the Ministry ride is just a whole nother level of talking about architecture.
That's very true. I can't believe I didn't think about that while brainstorming.
None of us broke that one down.
Yeah.
But holy cow.
I have trouble identifying which architectural styles specifically that hall in the Ministry uses, but it's just
gorgeous.
It's jaw dropping. I was. Allison, you weren't with me the first time I wrote it, were you?
I don't think so.
I was with Jen and Laurel and Nick Chandler and a few others. Jen can attest to it. When I am like in moments like that, where I am seeing a seeing an immersive attraction, a themed land, a roller coaster that's really blown me away, I get really quiet. Like that's kind of just like when an attraction like this leaves you speechless, like I am quite literally speechless.
Yeah,
like,
that tracks for knowing you.
I go very quiet. I kind of get not like, well, yeah. I mean, truthfully, like, yeah, like really within myself. And I mean, Jen can attest to it. I was silent like, for a lot of time.
Apparently, the style of the Ministry of Magic has Victorian and brutalist designs with Art Deco and classical elements mixed in. So it's kind of
okay.
That sounds
mixed bag,
right.
but it makes
I
sense.
can see those. Yeah.
But the Victorian era makes a lot of sense because isn't that that's when Fantastic Beasts is set in? Is that correct?
Yeah.
I think I haven't seen those movies, to be fair.
It's been a long time, and I didn't pay attention when I did watch them.
So I think I'm right on that. People can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that makes a lot of sense for when the Ministry would have been built.
Yeah, I am by no means whatsoever like anyway academically, connected to just architecture in general. So definitely anyone listening, feel free to correct me on anything that I might be saying, because I could be very off base with the details of things. But yeah, no, yeah, Rookburg definitely is one to champion. Just whether or like I guess whether or not you feel more inclined to go towards Rookburg or Klugheim in terms of which one you feel more of an affinity to, or which one you feel more immersed by. I guess it to some degree comes down to personal preference. But I do think that Rookburg has the most distinctive style, I will say. Like,
Yeah.
you look at Rookburg and there is one thing going on there, and everything all of it like feeds into that one style of visual communication going on with the buildings. Not even to mention Charles Lindbergh.
Yeah,
the hotel. Yeah. Whereas like in Klugheim, you can see the world they built, but there's a few different architectural elements like at play there. Similarly to Deep in Africa, is a lot more naturalistic, and I guess the buildings
waterfalls
speak to yeah. A lot of waterfalls, a lot of rock work, a lot of stonework in there. The buildings do speak to I guess a little bit more of a stereotypical style of the one or maybe a few different African countries. Yeah, I think Rookburg is the one that really speaks to one specific visual idea and fleshes the hell out of it first and foremost, and then really executes on the details. I think
I agree that Rookburg does do it better. The reason I like Klugheim more is I'm a sucker for Viking / medieval architecture. I just love both.
That's not even to say that that Rookburg does it like quote unquote better than Klugheim. I think it's a bit more distinct. But I can't fault anybody for preferring Klugheim to Rookburg or vice versa. Like, they're both just masterpieces.
It's impeccable.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I was gonna mention Jules Verne because when I was looking at different styles earlier today, just to prep a little bit, I had looked into just like the time period of Jules Verne and like them and like their most famous work and stuff, and I had been thinking about Mysterious Island at Tokyo Disney Sea, where Journey to the Center of the Earth and 20,000
20,000 leagues. Yeah.
20,000 leagues is
20,000 leagues.
Yeah. Under the sea. I'm halfway through that
20,000
book
leagues.
currently. I've been halfway
really?
through that book for a year.
I was gonna say like for at least a couple of years.
Or maybe 2. I stopped halfway.
You made it 10,000 leagues.
I've not read that. So you made it to 10,000 leagues.
Yeah. I really want to finish it, but there's just so much talk about fish and phosphorescence. I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh my goodness.
That's funny.
But don't they have a model of the Nautilus in Mysterious Island area?
Yes, I think they do.
That's
like
when I eventually visit there, I'm gonna like be the biggest nerd of all time at that moment.
Are you not already?
I am already, but like I will nerd out about Journey to the Center of the Earth and 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea. I already nerded out about. I know they already changed the theming on the one at Disneyland Paris, Hyperspace Mountain, but seeing Baltimore Gun Club from To the Moon and Back on there, oh, that was so cool.
Indeed, and that's why that is why that Hyperspace Mountain overlay is an absolute travesty and needs to be done with yesterday.
Yep.
But I'm not going to get into that rant this evening.
It's another rant for another day.
God, the Baltimore Gun Club with seeing a chart of an X-wing like 10 minutes later.
It doesn't. Yeah.
Anyway, I'm not gonna. Anyway, yes, but that I'll just say that Space Mountain at Disneyland Paris and the building behind it. I can't remember the name of the building behind it, but there's a lot of Jules Verne inspired architecture utilized in those 2 Disney attractions, which I think like this is why I make the like distinction between like the steampunk application of Rookburg and then Jules Verne their architectural style, because they are kind of different.
Mm-hmm. They are different.
Yeah, like to speak on brutalist architectural like tendencies here and there. I feel like because of how industrial and how cold steampunk as an idea can be, I do think it incorporates some brutalist sort of imagery in it as well, with all the pipes, the gears, the pressure gauges, like things like that. Whereas like Jules Verne style architecture, like from the just like fictional 19th century and stuff, actually has a bit more curvature to it.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of takes from a bit more artsy style, like something like Art Nouveau. It takes a bit more from that, and you can see that in a lot of the uses in like some of the framework, some of the railing work in Mysterious Island, some of the canopies. I think there's either a large canopy on the entrance to the area, or like the entrance to one of the attractions, maybe 20,000 Leagues, where you look at it and it's like, this wouldn't really fit in steampunk. It's almost too irregular to fit in what you would typically think a steampunk sort of like visual to look like. And I like that. As I think more about theme park architecture, I am finding myself being more drawn to styles that almost dive into subgenres of like more, I guess, quote unquote, mainstream architectural styles can be. And I think I think them being able to key into that for those attractions really makes them feel unique at the Disney parks, and really like one of one applications. So, Also, I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but
well, I mean, I was going to mention with that them having the Nautilus there. The Nautilus is a very more Art Nouveau, Art Deco, well, not Art Deco, maybe more Art Nouveau leaning design. I mean, obviously it's a submarine, it's like a boat, but it's
right.
It's like it got this gold outer shell to it. It has the curvature of the fins on the top to help it propel through the water and be steered from inside. But it's also intended to look like a very large mechanical narwhal based on the book. They spend a lot of time at the beginning of the book. I mean, spoilers for a 200-year-old book or however old it is. Approaching 200-year-old book. They are unsure of what this anomaly is in the water. They see this bright light and it's swimming around irregularly, and submarines are not really a common thing at that point, so they think, oh, it might be some giant narwhal, is what they keep describing it as. And so the fact that it's imitating nature, but it also has this mechanical, shiny glow and look to it is what kind of leans into that more art style of not necessarily architecture, because it is a submarine, but it builds into where at Tokyo Disney Sea, where they have that mixture of brutalist and then Art Nouveau styles. Also, that is like really high on my bucket list. Disney Sea is because of that area specifically. I can't wait to see all of it.
I will get to that park one day before I die.
Yeah, me too. Knowing me, I'll say I'll get there at some point, and then it'll be like way sooner than I think, because that's usually how things happen.
Yeah, honestly though.
Yeah. And be like, yeah, I'll get to Phantasialand someday. On my very first Europe trip, I go to Phantasialand second. So that was already 3 years ago.
Or you'll get to Poland eventually. Takes no convincing whatsoever to go.
Yeah, exactly. I gotta be open to all trips. At any time. I gotta like oh, you know what? You mentioned Poland, so now I'm talking about Zadra, and I'm thinking about that whole dragon area. That is really well themed, the best well themed area of that park. But that really does embrace the Viking, the medieval style architecture in that area. That whole area is pretty immersive, especially for the kind of park that Energylandia is. Much more of an amusement park. Does a very good job of that too. That is good to mention since we were just there. Yeah.
I will say I do like that area, and I'll mention Aqualantis in this as well, because it applies to that area. I do like what they did, to a lesser degree Aqualantis, but I do like the job that they did with those areas in that park. If they existed in a Universal park or Phantasialand or Europa Park or Efteling, a park that we usually associate with, like top of the line theming or themed areas, it probably would fall a little bit flat for me, just because there are certain areas that you can see throughout those two lands where you can see where they saved money. Like for the vast majority, like the windows are not windows, they are painted on. A lot of the fixtures are flat and not like they're not 3D in the walls, and in certain like roofs, the stonework isn't actual stonework. You can see what they tried to like give the visual of, but it was done on a lesser budget.
They tried to emulate it more than actually recreate it.
Yeah,
in a way.
Which, like, I like what the end product became for that part, because it still kind of works, but you can see where I guess the budget ended.
Which honestly, I don't know what kind of budget Energylandia has now. That I mean, obviously, government for a while was putting in money to like build and put rides in, but I don't know what kind of budget they had for theming purposes. So honestly, to get that kind of effort out of them at their level is pretty impressive. I know they have the most coasters in the world, but they're not on the level of Phantasialand, Efteling, Disney, Universal, Europa Park. You know, they're just not on that level in terms of architecture and theming.
And like, I don't think they're trying to be compared to those.
And no, they're just doing a great job in their own lane. Yeah. For sure. I'm glad we got to mention Energylandia because I hadn't had that in mind, even though it was just there.
I was going to say we're an hour and 10 minutes in, and you only just mentioned Efteling.
Well, I'm ready to talk about it. I'm ready to talk about that. I did mention was it Vliegend Hollander earlier?
Jen would 100% correct your pronunciation on it if she listened to the episode.
Yeah, I don't know how to say it. I will admit that, but it's the coaster, the water coaster, dark ride kind of thing. What's that?
The Flying Dutchman is what
it is. The Flying Dutchman. That's what it translates to. So maybe we should just call it that. That entire ride from the area surrounding it, the building that it's withheld in, when you're riding it, like obviously the theming is going to be best on the ride, but dude, I got to be in the front row of that. And it doesn't really get you that wet, so I wasn't all that angry when I was done with it because usually I don't like getting wet. But front row of that, you're in an incredibly dark area. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's like this lantern on the front, and it's full immersion into your, kind of like just a pirate going through these villages. And I obviously didn't understand any of the Dutch on it, but just the visuals of that ride with how they built the stonework and the woodwork and just made everything tie together so well and make you feel like you're in such a different world. That ride itself is probably, of all of the themed rides in Efteling, is probably my favorite. Now the entrance to Efteling is its own thing as well. Yeah. It obviously has a whole story to it, inside in the stained glass, and it's, I don't want to get the stat wrong on how tall it is. Is it like 150 feet tall? Thatched roof. It's like the largest. It has been talked about on this podcast before in the when you guys did the entrance episode, but it just can't go without mentioning. I'm looking up how tall it is right now. I believe it is the tallest thatched roof building in the world. It is 141 feet tall.
Jeez.
According to Google, and it's massive and expansive, and it just, as soon as you walk under it, you're like, okay, this is legit. We're in Efteling, which we talked about how big Alton Towers was earlier. Efteling probably, I don't know for sure, but it probably gives it a run for its money. I still think Alton's probably bigger, but Efteling is massive.
Still feels bigger.
Yeah.
But that might just be because Efteling's park layout makes most sense to me in my head, which is, I can actually say now that I've actually been, so went last year. It just makes more sense to me in my head. Whereas Alton Towers' layout is like you either you go one way and you're at Nemesis, and you have to turn back on yourself and go like to the rest of the park and stuff.
Apparently, it's not close. Hold on a second. Efteling, the entire resort. Okay, in Alton Towers' favor, it says it's giving me weird ranges, but it says that Alton Towers is 500 to 900 acres, but that's probably including the whole resort and everything. And then it says Efteling,
Yeah.
including the entire resort, is 990, but the park is 180, which is a lot. Don't get me wrong, that's a lot of acres, but it looks like Alton Towers definitely takes the cake on that.
Indeed.
Either way, they're both very large parks. And
have you been to Efteling recently?
I haven't been for 3 years.
Because I'm just thinking, when did that new hotel open up there?
I think that was last year.
Sometime?
Yeah.
Was it last year? Oh, okay. Because I remember really liking at least the front facing side of the hotel.
Yeah, I heard that it wasn't.
Because I know Jen got on here and said it didn't look that very well done. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. I don't want to put words in her mouth or anything, but I thought she said she didn't really like how the hotel looked. I remember thinking I actually quite liked it. Like I don't know, but let me see.
I think it had to do with like the visuals of like the proximity to the entrance and just it wasn't cohesive.
I saw where it was going to be, and if it, I don't know if
I did find it kind of weird as like it's like as you walk into the park, it's just off to the left randomly.
Right. It is kind of weird to have it right there, I think.
Yeah.
Because I knew where it was going. I just didn't obviously see much of any of it.
Right.
Another architectural element of Efteling that I want to mention is just the entrance to Vocal Rock, the one with the giant bird out front.
Yeah.
Now, there's not necessarily an architectural style to that, but the artistry behind that is just so crazy. It's a giant bird. I don't even know what kind of bird it is. But oh my gosh, they just put that on the facade as the entrance and made that the focal point of the ride, and Efteling's just next level. We were talking steampunk, and that Baron 1898 falls right into the steampunk.
Yeah, that is a show.
They had B&M do a whole different kind of support system underneath, so they could make it look like your typical. I won't necessarily say steampunk. It is actually kind of Art Deco a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, like Art Deco industrialist.
Industrial,
sort of,
yeah. They used those structured steel beams underneath it with the lattices.
Like raw iron steel beams.
Yeah. And obviously the large wheel up top, because it's themed to a mine, a haunted mine. And so like that wheel, and you've got the gold accents around it, and it is very artsy. Yeah. While pulling together, immaculate looking architecture underneath. Yeah. And then you just on top is just B&M track, like a roller coaster. Like it's very impressive to me that how it looks.
I just love the color scheme, like overall used for basically the entire park. Like everything fits with each other. That those burnt oranges, those bronzes, with the different shades of green used to get, like, they just like work together in all their different styles and all the different shades used together across like all their attractions. I think the Intamin floating island there has like the same kind of color scheme to it. The hotel does, to be fair. It has like a naturalistic feel to it. Yeah, there you go.
Cool.
But also works in all of its different applications, whether architecturally speaking, whether it be like something that points to more industrial sort of application in terms of Baron, or a much more natural feel to it, like Dance Macabre has, or like Symbolica, the show building for Symbolica.
I was just going to
like
mention that. I'm trying to figure out what exact style Symbolica is in. It looks,
yeah,
it's got the domes on top. It looks almost like, I don't know if it's Eastern European, Turkish, that kind of.
I was thinking
style.
Something close to like something pulling from like Islamic.
Yeah, or Islamic. Yeah. But it's a very cool. I don't know. The very cool style doesn't really add a lot to the conversation, but like I'm just very fascinated with Symbolica and how it looks.
This is all adding to the conversation, to be fair.
Mm-hmm. Did you ride Villa Volta, the Vekoma Madhouse, when you were there?
It wasn't open.
Okay.
Unfortunately.
Because the front of that literally looks like a manor, like you're walking into somebody's mansion garden kind of approach.
Yeah.
And it's very, I mean, it literally doesn't look like a ride. That's a Vekoma Madhouse.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
That's wild.
I wish I could show the picture on the podcast, but it literally looks like you're walking up to what I would probably call Victoria era inspired structure, and you go in the side of it, so you're not even going in the front door just to keep that immersion. You go in the side, and then in the inside there's a guy that talks for like 5 hours in Dutch about what you're going to experience the ride, and I don't understand any of it. That's why it felt like he'd talk forever. Yeah, and you feel like you're visiting a house. I mean, it's like a historical, like you feel like you're walking into like this has had significance in the past, and it's all just theming for an amusement park because they did so well with emulating that architecture style. Like I said, I believe it's Victorian something.
Nate's becoming so much more educated about architectural styles just in this episode.
I am. I'm doing like research as we talk.
So just to carry things on a bit, I also had the England section at Busch Gardens Williamsburg listed as well for its use of 15th to 16th ish century Tudor style buildings, Tudor style architecture on the buildings. That's really the only area, like English area, I've seen in a park that like sort of displays like a time period of England in that kind of way, or just like displays that particular time period of England. It's the only one that I can really think of that's kind of like really rooted in that time period in terms of its architecture and the buildings in there and everything. I know there's an England section in World Showcase at Epcot, but I honestly can't really picture how that one looks. I've not really seen it that
now that you say that, I'm not remembering much about it either.
But I've always really liked I've always really liked that being the first area that you walk through when you walk into Busch Gardens Williamsburg, to like juxtapose that against the Morocco area that you walk into when you at Busch Gardens Tampa, which is honestly much less like convincing.
Yeah,
I kind of feel like the with at Busch Gardens Williamsburg, they did a much better job of it, in my opinion, of really like transporting you into the idea that we're going to be taking you around different European countries, and actually to some degree like making you feel like you are there. The I think the styles around those lands, Busch Gardens Williamsburg, are much more stereotypical intentionally than they are like actual like pulling from the reality of those countries. But I think they executed that really well, in the sense that it lends itself to I guess on a surface level, a bit more interest, a bit more visual interest and stuff. And in that same park, actually, speaking of, I also had Alpengeist Station written down as well for the Swiss chalet style that it uses for not only the station building but also the other buildings around the Alpengeist Plaza. Always really enjoyed like just being in that area. And yeah, Two Tatis's station, I can't really speak to the architectural style, but it's cool as hell and I really like it. Just like that use of stonework, and almost as though the station is buried underneath. Not that I know like the story of Two Tatis within like the Asterix comics or anything.
Yeah.
But it like the way it's almost like a cave. Like with
that's
it,
what I was gonna mention was from their comics. I don't know the backstory either, but I feel like that's, if I had known the like Asterix comics really well, I would have been a lot more like impressed by what they probably pulled out of it, like pulled out of the actual comics to put it in there.
Same.
I actually learned about those comics in general just briefly before going there, because I had a friend who her family was from France, and she told me like all about it. She remembers it from like growing up and everything, and I was like, oh, that's actually really cool. Then I put two and two together that was Park Asterix, and then ended up going there right after, like a few months, 8 months down the road, I think, from that.
Nice.
It's really cool.
Yeah. The last couple I'll mention is Seuss Landing at Islands of Adventure. I've just always really enjoyed the fact that they don't use, like, there are no straight lines used for like any of the buildings, any of the walls, any of the like roofs or anything, like throughout the entire area. It's all curves, literally all curves.
It's kind of fascinating to look through that area knowing that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Really,
then you try to find straight lines and you don't.
Yeah.
And it lends itself to the cartoon feel like brilliantly.
Sure. Very well.
And obviously to keep kids' interest like while just playing around in that area and stuff. And the last one I'll mention is a park that, honestly, I mean, like, it's funny. This is one of the most visited parks on planet Earth, and yet it rarely gets mentioned on our side of the world. It being in China, so it's understandable. But Chimelong Ocean Kingdom is a park that it's high on my bucket list. I have no clue whatsoever when I'll go to China, but Chimelong Ocean Kingdom is a park that I definitely have highly on my bucket list, and one of the reasons is because of how just like thematically like high quality it is. It is both Chimelong Ocean Kingdom and Chimelong Spaceship, but I'll talk about the entrance to Chimelong Ocean Kingdom. It uses the imagery of coral reef and coral reef walls, like in its entrance, like kind of underneath basically a massive, I think it's a stingray.
It looks like it's a devil ray. Yeah, I'm looking it up for the first time. I knew about this park, but I'd never seen pictures.
Yeah, it's incredible.
It's a devil ray.
Mm-hmm. Right? Yeah, there is. Yeah, but like you, like it I don't know if it speaks to like a particular architectural style, more so just like pulling on the visual imagery of just aquatic visual imagery. Like the walls are like the type of rock formations you'll see in ocean, like underwater in oceans. There's loads of coral reef like all over the walls and everything. There's I'm actually kind of surprised there's not waterfalls coming out of them or anything, but that kind of imagery just the way they executed that entrance is just so good. I need there. There are a lot of things that I need to see in this park, like with my own two eyes, and just like this kind of level of attention to detail is one of them. I could speak on Chimelong's spaceship as well, but that's a whole different kind of area. But yeah, Chimelong Ocean Kingdom, like for in part because of its its attention to detail thematically in its architecture, whether it speaks to a specific style or not, is just like it's top tier. Like it's completely top tier. And yeah, I did want to mention the Mediterranean entrance to Port Aventura as well. Those buildings, they have such a really great Mediterranean style to them when you walk into the park, and when you walk around Furious Baco and that front area. It's gorgeous. If you've been to Spain or any Mediterranean countries, like you'll be able to pick that style like out just like that. It's great.
That is a region I have not been to yet.
Yeah. Wait, Mediterranean?
Well, like just Spain, essentially.
Like Spain. Okay, I thought you meant Mediterranean. I was like, you just went to Italy.
Like, you know what? Italy's right.
Yeah. Spain makes sense. I have not been there yet either. But I really want to go. You know, the Sagrada Familia and everything.
Yeah, I know.
Boom, brought it up twice.
I was going to say, like, that would have been, like, talking about Portaventura would have been a good time to bring it up if you hadn't already.
If I hadn't already. I can't get that far into a discussion of architecture and not bring that up, as you guys saw.
It's like me in the Cathedral of Learning.
Which also came up very early.
Yes, it did. Like, immediately for you.
I'm going to roast one real quick before we go into anything else. Kings Island's entrance sucks.
Yep.
Oh, it's so ugly.
That is the architectural style of gross. And
petition to make that official architectural style.
Gross. For the world. Yeah, I can make that a whole. Yeah.
Just ew.
Just do a whole episode on gross.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, it's obviously like whatever the most recent, I guess modern architecture. It's very barren. It's flat, it's shingle roof. It's not impressive. Even when they put the Halloween facade on top of it, or in front of it, I guess, it's not great. And then when they take that same Halloween facade and put Christmas lights on it and act like it's a Christmas house, it's even worse. So, Kings Island, love you overall, but man, you got to make that entrance look better.
Kings Island and Fantasyland are very similar in that regard, where they do some things very, very well, but an entrance is not one of them.
Once you get in the entrance, that's where everything shines. I would say for both of those parks, yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I don't know if Fantasyland's entrance is as egregious or if it's just unassuming, but
yeah, it's definitely more so unassuming.
Yeah, I would say Kings Island is egregiously ugly. Well, no offense, Kings Island, I love you, but and then I had my notes just to mention it's not necessarily architecture itself, but it's displaying architecture around the world inside a park. It's any of the Legoland parks that have, those they call them, I don't know if they call them mini cities or mini lands, I think is what they're called. But from the ones I've been to, like California, Florida, and the one in Windsor, they all kind of have their own regions too. Like they have different landmarks in each one. Obviously, the one in California's got like the Golden Gate Bridge, and I think it still has your Eiffel Tower, your Statue of Liberty, like your very big things throughout the world. But I think it's cool that Legoland does that. It has the mini lands to show off different architectures via Lego inside a park. So I just wanted to mention that before we got any further.
Yeah,
because that is a very cool way to show off architecture without actually having the said architecture.
I love those mini cities. They're probably my favorite thing to spend time looking at in any
Yeah.
Legoland park. Awesome.
And I love Lego architecture itself, the like sets you
Yeah.
can buy. I have a collection of those. Other than the Burj Khalifa, which I got as a gift, I have a rule where I can only get one if I've been there. So, got the Eiffel Tower, Sears Tower in Chicago. I will not call it the Willis Tower. The New York skyline, the Chicago skyline, the White House, the Capitol building, the Lincoln Memorial.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I have any more.
Did you get one of the London?
Oh, I have the Statue of Liberty. I have not bought the London one yet. I keep seeing it at like Target, and I'm like, I should buy that. I've been there, and then I've literally been to all of the ones in London. I think, like we saw the London Eye. We were right next to that. We saw the Elizabeth Tower. We saw. I don't know if Westminster Abbey's on the Lego set or not. We saw that.
I don't know. Mike and I can buy the Trevi Fountain set now.
Yeah, I really want that one, but I got to go there first.
Do it.
Well, yeah.
Do it.
I obviously want the Sagrada Familia one that's going to come out, and it's apparently going to cost like $400, $800. I don't know.
$800, something like that. I was
very expensive.
Crazy.
But if I go to the Sagrada Familia, I will spend probably as much as I did on flights to get there on the Lego set.
And that's not a good thing.
No, that's not a good thing, but I would do it. And I got to get to the Burj Khalifa because I have a Lego Burj Khalifa and I've not been there, and that's not okay.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and then if I get to Australia, I got to get the Sydney Opera House one.
No, of course.
That one's really cool. But got to get to Australia first. I have rules.
Rules are rules.
Rules are rules.
I have morals and polities.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like Mike and his Nano Coaster collection. He has to have ridden it or cannot possibly ride it because it's defunct now before he gets a Nano Coaster.
I can't do Nano Coasters. I have two. I just it's not like they're hard to put together. I don't know. I'm just not a fan of how they work. I've got one built. It's back there. You guys probably can't see it, but it's El Toro. It's the first one I ever got, and the way I learned that I don't like Nano Coasters.
It's like me and helping with the coaster cutouts.
Yeah.
Not good.
I have one coaster cutout. Don't enjoy those much either. But the one I got was the Mass Mocha Brava coaster, the one that was an art piece itself. I was like, I have to get this. I know I don't like coaster cutouts, but I have to get this. Because it's gone. So my mom bought me a Fury Nano Coaster, and it's still in the original box. I feel bad because she bought it for me, but it's also like, I don't like Nano Coasters. It can just get bent so easily, and I don't know. Parkscapes are worse for what it's worth.
Really?
Because they fall out. They don't actually stay in there unless you glue them in.
That's annoying.
Anyway, sorry, that didn't mean to get on that rant, but
it's allowed. I will very quickly go through my little list of notes before we get into. We have some extensive listener comments that we got.
We didn't mention Voltron, and I really want to talk about the Wardenclyffe Towers.
Okay, the first one on my list is Klugheim. We've already discussed that. Second one on my list is Voltron Station.
The station is awesome. That main building looks like they pulled it straight out of Croatia.
Yeah.
But the Wardenclyffe Towers, man, that's the electrical engineer part of me coming out and being really, really nerdy about. It's just, that was a real structure, and that Nikola Tesla built himself. He didn't build it himself, but they tried to transfer power between the Wardenclyffe Towers and building those into Voltron to make that part of the theming of where they were successful, and they were able to transport physical matter via electronic signals and power through the air. So they have the Wardenclyffe Tower on the main launch at the beginning, and then the Wardenclyffe Tower all the way at the other side where you do the turntable. That is just so cool. I could go on why I love Europa Park forever, and yes, obviously Voltron's my number one because the ride is good, but like that, that's even better. Like, it makes it so much better. Sorry, I want to talk about the Wardenclyffe Towers.
We've already done 3 episodes on Europa. Let's do another.
Yeah.
We'll do a coaster.
Only
focused
Wardenclyffe
episode.
Towers this time. I'll go into the extensive history of Nikola Tesla and the Wardenclyffe Towers.
We'll do a coaster focused episode eventually on Voltron.
Okay.
I'm trying to get a picture of my desktop's being slow, but I'm trying to get a picture of or just pictures of the station building up on here, just to because like I think that it pulls like Renaissance architecture influence from it. I just wanted to get a visual of it, but yeah, I see some like Renaissance sort of influence in the architecture, which I really like, which reminds me of another kind of like architectural style that I do really wish that more parks played around with, because that style is just beautiful and it's so character filled and everything. And that further reminds me of like so I don't know how to transition to this, but the land expansion that Groneland is supposed to be going through with sometime in the next few years, I think. A lot of the style of that area, both theming and just like architecture on the buildings, is supposed to be fashioned around the Stockholm exhibition of 1897.
Oh, wow.
Which kind of plays with a lot of kind of like similar influences as well. And I think you kind of see similar sort of just like tendencies in certain parts of Liseberg as well. Now, Allison, you've been to Liseberg. I haven't. I don't know if you can speak to much of that, particularly around the Luna Park area where that Vekoma Junior Boomerang is. I'm just speaking to what I've seen like on videos and stuff, and just noticing an architectural style or just like similarities between that kind of line of thought that I just put together kind of haphazardly.
I'll be honest, I did not pay much attention to the architectural styles when I was there.
Yeah, no,
my main thought was just, man, how did they get this coaster up here?
Yeah, those kind of like pathway awnings and stuff.
It's a lot of white arches and a lot of landscaping, with a lot of like green and gold accent around it.
Right. Yeah. Which pictured in Groneland's concept art that they released of this land expansion, which is supposed to be like for a new Vekoma launch coaster and stuff. There's a lot of similar shaping in like the fences in the waterfall fixtures. Uses a lot of like patterned shrubbery to kind of just show off that style as well, that like 19th century kind of style, which kind of in turn relates to sort of like some Renaissance patterning as well. Sorry, that's Voltron Station kind of just sent me down like that kind of mental rabbit hole a little bit, but
this episode was a very good fit for you, Mikhile.
Mm-hmm.
Evidently.
You have many thoughts. My thoughts are a lot more scattered in terms of my notes. Still at Europa, I put Chronosaur on my list, and just I don't even know like what style that building is. Very like, I guess it's meant to be Viking style, but it feels kind of like New England style a little bit on the outside. Maybe that's just me.
Let me look.
Like the little like waterfront area that it has. It feels very like New Englandy.
We already.
My mind goes to Scandinavian.
Based on the name and spelling of Kronosar.
Kronosar, yeah.
Which don't even know if I'm spelling that right or pronouncing that right, but
yeah, it like my brain goes to just like Scandinavian building style.
Very pretty.
It reminds me, even though Megalodon is literally themed to like New England. Hi Brian. Like I see a lot of similarities there, and I see why you brought up New England. Like those styles are kind of similar.
Yeah, I think it might just be the waterfront area. Kind of makes me think of that. But
yeah, but like like I see that similar kind of style to like sort of like the narrow buildings all kind of like terraced together. There's a lot of that in Western Germany from what I've seen. Like definitely in Cologne. And definitely I've seen that I saw that in Brussels last year as well, in Belgium. So it's definitely a kind of building style that spans like at the very least different Western European countries, I think.
Yeah.
Just to mention real quick, I stayed Santa Isabel, which is Spanish, but had a lot of, Spanish Catholicism structure in it and that kind of vibe as well. I think just all of the Europa resorts are themed to one style of architecture or another based on the country they're from.
Right.
That's very cool.
We will definitely talk about more of those. I mean, obviously we already did a episode kind of based on the resorts in Kronosar, but I'm sure we'll bring them up whenever we do a resorts episode. Trying to quickly get through my list because we're already an hour 45 in. I will give him the only architecture I can think of in like a Cedar Fair park that stands out to me is Grand Pavilion at Cedar Point.
Yeah. Besides like steampunk.
Well,
almost like half-hearted steampunk.
Right. But Grand Pavilion has always very much stuck out to me since it was built. Very pretty right on the water. And just the blue is a very nice blue. Not that that has anything to do with architectural styles, but it's just pretty. Very much enjoy it. Thinking back to kind of brutalist design, I think of the Helix Q.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a lot of maze, a lot of metal, a lot of
open space, just random queue line going every direction that you can think of. I still don't know my way around that, but
a lot of shiny steel.
Not that I've seen it in person, but like I've seen videos. It kind of makes me think like I would feel like I was like underneath a highway bypass.
I queue in
it. It does feel like that, yeah.
Yeah, those are kind of the main ones worth hitting on my list. The rest are like less architecture and more general theming, I guess. But I think we could probably get to our some of our guest
questions,
responses. I guess listener responses. There we go. I had put on socials and all that. It said, what are your favorite buildings you've seen at theme parks that are truly beautiful, useful, and simply add to the experience? What are some buildings where you can see they tried, but it just doesn't work out in your opinion?
I was gonna say we didn't really get to like bad execution so much, apart from
I just threw out Kings Island because that was in my notes.
Kings Island.
It's so funny. That's like the only bad one we can think of. I'm sure there's more, but
seeing where they tried and where it didn't really work out. I'm excited to see what people say.
We're just such a positive focused podcast. It's hard to think of the standout negatives.
Yeah.
We'd rather highlight the good ones. But still, I think it's still worth kind of pointing out the ones that don't execute things as well as
Krampus.
You would hope. Huh?
Krampus is the best example I could think of. That mock water coaster at, is it Neglo Land?
At Neglo Land, yeah.
That had the coolest looking concept art. It turned out to be a little mound with a flat little like Krampus face on it. So that's the best one I could think of. That's poor execution on a cool idea. Anyway,
you're doing better than me thinking of things.
That's just the one that popped in my mind.
There's our one bit of constructive criticism for parks regarding architecture.
Granted, the ride is still pretty cool, but
yeah, I'm sure
it just didn't look as cool after it was built.
Well, okay, we'll just go for the first one. If we're gonna stay on that, Chris Leonard via Patreon said that for a building that didn't work out, and we'll get to the rest of his question as well, although it contains a lot of the things that we've already talked about.
Right.
He says, for a building that didn't work out, I'll actually go with the new Hershey Park entrance. While the new one is more efficient for security and tackling a larger number of guests per year, the old one added so much charm and nostalgia that the new one doesn't capture in its more bland facade. The old one down the hill after the small shops and cafes really set the tone for it being an independent park in the countryside of Pennsylvania. This new one is too modern / corporate / bland, which I've heard that a lot, like as basically like the main criticism of that new entrance. It's something that they had to do, like as the park was expanding. They had to make the entrance bigger. It had to be more accommodating for, a larger number of guests per day, just so people weren't in like half an hour, 45-minute lines to like just to get into the place and everything. But like it's kind of a case of how do you, and we did mention this like off recording as well. It's like how do you expand a park's entrance to be able to be functionally more accommodating for a larger amount of guests, while also keeping that charm and whimsy and nostalgia in its like visual communication as you're walking up to the park. How does it keep its cuteness? How does it keep its like quirks to it, while also being much bigger than it was? And I've asked myself that a few times, and just in preparation for this episode, I found myself going back to Efteling. Like that entrance kind of does exactly what I just described. Like it's it's whimsical, it's folksy, it's charming, it's cute, but it's also massive.
Yeah, it's very easy to get through there.
Yeah. So that's an instance of having the right amount of like large scale functionality while also being very character driven and everything. There are probably more as well that we, I guess, don't really like acknowledge in this way, but that's the one that came to mind for me. For what it's worth, I do agree with the criticisms of Hershey Park's entrance.
Yeah, I suppose you know Hershey Park better than either of us do.
Yeah.
I actually haven't been back since they extended that entrance.
Oh wow.
And added Candemonium and everything. Like the last time I went to Hershey Park, for anyone who doesn't know, I used to work there for a couple of summers back in the 2010s. I haven't been back since they did that. The last time I was there, it was still the German village at the start and everything. But yeah, no, just seeing photos of it, just like I definitely get it. And to be honest, I like what they did with the buildings, with like the Chocolatier and Chocolate Town and everything. But yeah, I see the criticism And then just to get to the rest of his comment, he also said, I feel like when architecture comes up, you have to start with the gold standards of Fantasyland and Europa Park that make its presentation the core element of their rides and experiences. Fly without its architecture would still be a great ride, but would be way more boring without its near misses and guest and hotel interactions. Voltron's architecture at the beginning and halfway points make it key parts of the ride experience that separate it just from just another thrill ride. Separate it from being just another thrill ride. Architecture in the States has been improving with stuff like, Ministry of Magic, Epic Universe, and How to Train Your Dragon. Also Epic Universe.
It's a little more forced perspective out of Isle of Burke, where they got that very small hut on top of the mountain, but it's supposed to, from your perspective, look like a normal sized hut, just very far away. I think that worked out pretty well for them.
I will.
I think.
Yeah, I think they did. I think about Isle of Burke as well is the one thing that I really love with what they did with well, maybe not one thing, but like with all of the arched roof buildings and all of them, as well as making them look as layered in just sheer volume of them at sometimes, because it looks like they're almost like stacked on top of each other, and like the assortment of them just keeps going on and on and on. It feels like it's never ending. But I love how they made the not wood beams that make up each of the buildings actually look like wood, because they're not wood, but
right.
to the untrained eye they absolutely are wooden,
exactly.
like structures and stuff.
They do a great job with that.
It's that level of, like, I can only from what I've learned throughout actual applications in the attractions industry in this way, like it has to, like that has to have been handwork that did that. Like
some of it they can pour concrete in the shape of wood, but a lot of it has to be very detailed handwork. You're correct.
Incredibly well done.
Similarly, I always think of going through the queue line from Ministry of Magic and just all the tiles that are in that queue and how those all had to be in place.
He almost said it.
Right.
He almost said the thing.
It's almost Swedish.
It's pretty crazy that they did that.
Yeah. I still blame you for how much I say the word wild now.
Wild is the easy replacement for insane at Gronalund.
Okay, now I need a park to create a coaster called Wild. And
Please no. Please no. Wilderness Run is good enough. We don't need a Wild. Wild Eagle, that's fine. We don't need anything that's just wild.
That's wicked.
No, that's at Lagoon.
What an icon.
Yeah, that's at Blackpool.
Anyway.
You guys are missing a big one here.
That's also a Blackpool.
It's also a Blackpool.
Anywho. Mikhile, would you want to read the next one for no reason in particular?
Yeah, not at all, right? So our lovely Thrills on Film says Corkscrew at Cedar Point has such a great Pizza Hut shaped station. I just wish it could be presented by Pizza Hut instead of M&M's. Agreed.
You can always tell when they put another restaurant in a Pizza Hut building because they don't change it. It's still shaped like Pizza Hut. Like maybe that's what happened with maybe that's what happened with Corkscrew. It's actually in an old Pizza Hut.
Maybe.
It's like putting anything in an old Waffle House. You always know.
Yeah.
She also says Magnum is the perfect space age station. Gemini is the perfect disco ball station. I agree with that one. I love that. I love that disco ball station. Those 3 Arrow buildings are my top 3 buildings at Cedar Point.
This absolutely tracks for Laurel.
Or Iron Dragon.
I know. Iron Dragon.
Iron Dragon's an arrow, but she didn't mention its building.
Iron Dragon's been left off bad and bougie.
Yeah. I guess Cedar Creek Mine Right is also an arrow and didn't get mentioned, so that's okay.
That's all good. Those are the three arrows.
Those are the three good arrows at the park.
Yeah.
Well, wait, no, not Corkscrew. What am I talking about? Corkscrew's not good. I'm sorry.
I
love Gemini and Magnum.
I developed a bit of an appreciation for Corkscrew my last visit.
I appreciate the airtime hill, and that's about it.
That's the part I hate the most.
Why?
You want me to read the next one? Or?
Sure.
This is from Ethan. He says, I'm a huge fan of the Tower of Terror buildings, especially the one at Disney's Hollywood Studios, because it's painted that color and styled like it is to blend in with the Morocco section at Epcot when looking across the World Showcase Lagoon. Yeah, there's some forced perspective.
I was going to say, I'm really surprised that we haven't mentioned that yet.
Yeah. One building I'm not the biggest fan of, he says, is the Cosmic Rewind backstage building, because even though it's painted bye blue, from outside the park, it's a massive eyesore. And I agree with that, too. Because it's like the exact opposite of what Hollywood Studios Tower of Terror does. The exact opposite.
The sightlines.
The sightlines. But yeah, I mean, I think, did we mention the Tower of Terror buildings? My personal favorite one is the classic, like it is at Hollywood Studios, but I really love how the Paris one is, what is it, like teal on the dome on top, and then the rest of the building's like this off-white. It's very pretty. There's one in California that's ugly now. Still a fun ride. The Guardians is not very pretty as a Tower of Terror, I don't think. What's the one at Disney Sea look like, Mikhile? I think you mentioned that before we started.
Yeah, it's very different because it's based on a completely different story. I can't really like describe it like off the top of my head, but it's a very, very different design. Much more elaborate, I think.
Okay.
Much more.
Oh yeah, it's a lot more brick style with a lot of like stonework on it.
Yeah,
it's very different. That one's very pretty. That one might be the prettiest one.
Yeah, I think so.
My favorite's still Hollywood Studios.
What I love about Hollywood Studios iteration of it is how it's up on a berm. So like the main midway that goes like towards it. The actual show building is up on a berm, and it's angled at like away from the pathway. Like it's angled to the left of the path, like to face to the left of the pathway. And it kind of just in my mind anyway, it creates a bit of mystique and intrigue and just like mystery to it, which it then feeds into as you obviously go into the building, everything. But I just, because of its positioning, I attribute it to it always being viewed in the middle of a thunderstorm, like with just lightning striking around it, which then feeds into just like the visualization of the story anyway.
Right.
I like, it's such a otherwise, like inconsequential little detail that I actually feel like it feeds right into how you should feel theoretically like getting onto the ride, which I really like.
I agree with both things that Ethan brought up. Like, they did not execute the hiding of the Guardians building very well.
No, they did not.
but I do love the classic painting it to look like Morocco so it blends in.
That's like quintessential Disney World architectural lore.
Yeah, exactly.
Is that fact.
Glad we got it in here. Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah. But it is also cool to see it in person when you actually notice it.
Yeah.
Just to go back to Laurel mentioned in Magnum, Magnum Station. Like,
Of course, Laurel mentions Magnum.
Yeah, no, just that building and Millennium Force's building, like it screams 80s to me, and like it's even though obviously Millennium Force was built in 2000 and whatever, but like it he's talking about just like visual communication and like the sounds you might hear. Like, I mean, like I can't like imagine those buildings without hearing at least like Millennium Force's theme song. Yeah.
Or like Magnum's Lift Hill.
Yeah.
Soundtrack all its own.
Oh yeah.
Indeed. But yeah. There is something to be said about architecture. Just recalling back just sounds like that you or just like music that you attribute to memories of buildings and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Very, very fun.
All right, I will take the next one from Lom. Lakeside and Rye Playland have awesome Art Deco features, but they aren't super well preserved. I've not been to either of those parks.
I've been to both. Rye Playland's front entrance was under construction when I was there, so I didn't really see much of it. But yeah, it is deteriorating. And Lakeside might be one of the saddest parks I've ever seen because it could be so beautiful and it's very Art Deco. Like that whole park is very Art Deco, but you can just see how much it's deteriorated to the point where they tell you when you enter the park not to take pictures or videos. I did not listen to that. Crazy. But like that's wild that they say that. But it would be beautiful, especially if it got a full renovation. It would be incredible, and it would encapsulate the history of Art Deco in that park. But yeah, it is in a very sad state right now.
Yeah,
not Colorado, but the state of being.
Depends on your feelings on Colorado.
True. I don't really have any bad feelings about Colorado.
Just Lakeside. Said Kennywood has amazingly well-preserved classic features, but it doesn't carry throughout the whole park and architecture, which I can see that.
I didn't even think of Knoebels when it came to architecture because there's so many just trees.
Kennywood.
Oh, Kennywood. I don't know why I thought of Knoebels. Kennywood, yeah, exactly. My brain, sorry, wrong Pennsylvania park, starting with a K. I'm tired, I'm sorry.
Well, we've been going for over 2 hours, so.
Yeah, to be fair, I don't know why my brain went to Knoebels. Kennywood, yeah, that's, yeah. I don't have much to add to that
one. Having not been to Knoebels, Kennywood, wow, what?
Sorry, I did it. I'm sorry. Listen, they both have classic wooden coasters. They're both in Pennsylvania. They both start with a K.
That, yeah.
Very different parks, though.
Yeah, no, I can see the classic nods throughout throughout some areas of the park, particularly Racer's entrance.
Yeah,
which I've always liked the look of. For its that classic archway with the light up Racer sign. I've always liked that. Does that kind of I guess moments of architecture not carry on throughout the rest of the park? I'm not sure.
Not really. There's some kind of architectural elements over by Phantom's Revenge, but very not that classical style.
Right.
I'm trying to think, but yeah, I can't really think of too much else. Why am I fully blanking on the launch coaster?
Oh, Skyrocket.
There we go. I don't know what the heck I was thinking it was called, but it was not that. But yeah, I don't remember. I can't even think of anything regarding that one in terms of architecture. Nothing else in that park really stands out outside of like Racer and kind of the entrance area.
Interesting.
At least for me.
The entrance is the most poignant,
Yes.
but
Very, very iconic.
yeah.
Yeah,
Knoebels is great.
Yeah.
Since I messed it up already. Anyway.
And so's Kennywood.
He said,
not that I've been.
if there's a place that has all the classic vibes throughout and well preserved, let me know where to find it. LOL. Those vibes being carried through into the architecture is a huge factor in what makes a park charming to me. Has the same impact as an immersive theme to me, but I'm being transported into a more carefree time and place rather than into the world of an IP. That said, immersive theming carried through into architecture can also be sick. That's a Flamingo Land. But it's hit or miss for me. Like, Klugheim is my jam, and Rookburg is just okay for me.
Fair enough.
Let me just read that again. It's the same intro. Immersive theme to me, but okay. Right, yeah. So like a stylization, or just like little nods to architectural styles, as opposed to a whole like all-encompassing immersive area.
Yeah. I can definitely see what he means. Like, carrying it throughout the park more adds a lot of charm.
Yeah, and there's definitely more appropriate times for both applications.
Right.
Like a whole immersive area just slapped in one corner of, I don't know, like Flamingo Land would seem so out of place to me. Or like, let me think of another. I won't say Liseberg. Sure, yeah.
Or like, I almost think of Six Flags Over Georgia and like the Scream Punk or whatever. I don't know if it's Scream Punk, but like the one area where the only ride that has anything to do with it is the Pandemonium.
Oh yeah,
yeah. That
like a store and like one piece of theming, and then that's it. Like, what's the point?
Yeah, it's kind of random.
But like that's
I've thought that about like amusement parks where you can see a style carried out. I think of Liseberg when I think of this, actually. As gorgeous as Liseberg looks, like you can see like a central style throughout most of the park, and then there's just a Vikings area in the corner. like you've got Valkyria and Balder and Loki in that area, and then the rest of the park is, this really just like gorgeous landscaping, the sort of like the white arches, the
like a city
kind of
park.
central. Yeah. It definitely has that feel to it.
Mm-hmm.
I've always found that peculiar.
But being a big Norse fan, I love Balder and Loki and Valkyria.
yeah.
But I understand what you mean by
good.
It's a tad out of place with the rest of it. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it just makes more sense when you're actually there, but.
Mm-hmm.
What doesn't make sense is Rookburg just being okay, but
you said earlier to each their own.
Yeah, you said I could like Klugheim more.
Lom clearly likes Klugheim more.
Yeah. Me too, Lom. It's okay.
Me three, Lom. It's okay.
I can read the last one if you want.
Go for it.
From Solar Coaster. I love Europa Park's ball and Arthur's building, which we did mention at the very beginning.
Did we mention Arthur?
We mentioned Europa Park's ball. We did not mention Arthur. Arthur's building is very cool.
Yeah.
It's also seated kind of like to look like it's in the ground.
Yeah.
Because Arthur's about fairies and little creatures. So it like shrinks you down to that size.
Yeah.
And then Still Dre.
That's not architectural, but okay.
No, yeah. The Swiss area is stunning as well, which I definitely agree with that.
It really is.
Then Dark Universe is beautiful, and what they did with the perspective in Isle of Berk, which we did mention that briefly, is so creative. The Stardust Station is also incredible. A lot of older parks are nice. Dorney and Kennywood are nice examples. You mean Knobles? Some pretty coasters, architecture-wise, are steel curtain structure with the mess of art that it is. And while I have not ridden them, the top hats on Velocicoaster and Batman, the photos I have seen are breathtaking. I also love how the track runs with other track on Steel Vengeance and Pantherian structure and low to the ground snaps. And Flight, Red Force, Ka, and Top Thrill 2 have crazy structures. Also, the stuff at Watching Dragon Valley is insane.
Oh my
God. That's that Grona one. Yeah. Sorry for all my replies, but this is one of my favorite topics. Thank you so much for doing it.
Legitimately,
thank you for commenting.
Like, I do the sticker thing or whatever on Instagram stories. And he did like 10 different sticker replies. I'm like, for future reference, you're more than welcome to DM us, so you don't have to break it into sticker length responses. But also, I did respond and say thank you so much for all of your support for us. He's always responding to all of our questions every week.
Definitely,
which is really cool.
That's dope.
We'll have to say, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of steel curtain. How it looks, kind of at all.
It's kind of pretty over the water, but the structure itself is not.
I also just don't like the Steelers or the Steelers colors. I don't know. It also spited me like 3 times before I finally wrote it. And when I did write it, it was raining so hard that it hurt my eyes. So like I've just not had a good experience with Steel Curtain. That's not about its architecture. I don't know. Something about it versus like how Max Force is built. Max Force is obviously the more reliable ride, and it has an air launch. So I don't know what they did. I think Steel Curtain would look a lot cooler in a park that's not Kennywood, if that makes sense. Like Max Force looks cool where it is.
Yeah, but it'd probably look cooler if it wasn't themed to the Steelers.
It would be cooler if it wasn't themed to the Steelers, yes. But that's like if any coaster was, themed to the Steelers, it'd be cooler if it wasn't. Or the Dallas Cowboys. There's not a coaster like that as of right now, but it would be cool if they don't do that ever. Or honestly, any football team, any baseball team. I love baseball.
Yeah.
Just don't theme them to, I don't know. Don't theme them to sports.
Or like do it subtly.
Right.
Subtly, yeah.
I can't even think of a good example.
I don't know if there really is one. It's either like the majority of coasters are not, and then there's Steel Curtain.
Right.
Yeah, I think that with Steel Curtain, like I would like the look of its mess of supports more if there were any patterning to them whatsoever, but it just looks confused.
Yeah.
like there's it honestly, it looks over supported for what the track is doing. It looks like
and yet it has structural issues apparently.
Yeah. But
it's probably too rigid, actually. I don't know for sure, but it could be too rigid.
But like, yeah, no, I just like you could do it more subtly. I guess with just like with a much less bold shade of yellow, maybe, and then just, like give it a name that is like Steelers adjacent. Well, I guess Steel Curtain is kind of adjacent, but isn't that literally the I heard
that was the name for one of their defensive lines, I believe, in the 90s or something.
Right, yeah. Something like that.
It was like the nickname.
Yeah.
Does Raging Bull count as a sports themed vehicle?
No.
Chicago Bulls.
I mean,
still no. I mean, you could make the argument.
You could make the argument. I would like because of its colors. It's more so just a
I don't think anyone thought of that when they
associates Raging Bull with the Chicago Bulls.
But hey, that's actually a pretty good. That's a pretty good pull because I can't think of another example like that.
Right.
Just wait for the Kings Island to open Houday, the coaster.
Don't give him any ideas.
Don't give Mike any ideas.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I did just have sort of like a just a thought process again while I was looking through things and just looking at thinking about the importance of architectural styles when it comes to really when it comes to like immersive themed lands and themed attractions and stuff. Just architectural styles. How do I want to word this? They feel important to like rooting a land or attraction in an idea, like kind of rooting the land in the idea that that is associated with a world that we already know. So like if you think of like the fantastical imagery that you might find in like a Disneyland, in like a land at a Disney park, but then it's also using architectural styles in the buildings that we can recognize from real world applications and stuff. I think that's honestly, I think that's important, to be able to associate a fantastical sort of escape from reality kind of immersive area with a version of the world that we already know. Like playing with that idea creatively, playing creatively with that idea, I think it brings realism to fantasy in a way. And like the existence, for me at least, the existence of the land fits it fits better. Like it hits home harder a bit. Like it sort of resonates harder with me because of that. Being able to imagine myself like in a place that I could actually think is a real place, but like it has all of these like larger than life elements to them. If it like if the land looked entirely like nothing I'd ever recognized like ever before in my life, I don't think it'd impact me as much emotionally because I can't relate to any of it.
Makes
if you
sense.
get what I mean.
Yeah.
It's the introduction of otherworldly like fantasy elements within like an architectural environment, sort of like a framework that I'm familiar with in the real world that helps me like see myself existing in that environment, which then allows me to believe that I'm being more immersed in that world that's being created.
Mm-hmm.
If that makes sense. It
Yeah.
feels like a much deeper like resonance with it. Especially in somewhere like Ministry of Magic, where I've heard people say, and I've seen comments of are just like it's cool, it's really nice and everything, but it's just buildings.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's kind of because it's just buildings why I feel so so immersed in it. Like it's taking a world that is so familiar and being able to implement otherworldly things within the context of it.
It makes it
of a
real.
theme land. Yeah, it makes it feel a bit more real,
grounded.
Yeah,
but still transporting you to another place.
Exactly. Yeah, that was kind of just like a train of thought I had earlier today as to why like immersive lands really do like, I mean, bring passion out of me more so than almost anything else.
I think you're a lot more knowledgeable about this topic than you ever expected you would be.
I think I always said like this is really the first time I've been able to put it into words. I think. But yeah, I don't know if either of you like resonate with any of that or like agree with it. Like,
oh yeah,
oh for sure,
like,
yeah, I do
relate to it more so.
Yeah,
but
I've spent more time in the Ministry of Magic Paris than I have in actual France.
I haven't, unfortunately.
And yet
I'd rather spend more time in Ministry of Magic Paris.
I agree. Unrealistic expectations about Paris.
So I believe that brings us to the end of the episode.
Thanks, Ben.
You're welcome.
And
I have
I'm
to text her and be like, I'm doing your job.
Well, if she ever comes...
Jenny, you alive, by the way?
She's back to the United States, by the way. I saw her story. Yeah. She's back to Philly, even.
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
A few minutes ago.
She's somewhere on the highway.
in West Philadelphia, born and raised.
Oh, man.
On the playground is where she might have spent most of her days.
Yeah.
Well, this has been a fun episode. Sorry. I put my elbow on my pen and it made noises. I do want to give a shout out to our Unhinged Patreon members. Nate was one of them, very, very briefly. He's not anymore.
Well, I now am going to have access, so it's a little different.
Yeah, but I thank you for your 1 month of support on the Patreon. But also a big thank you to Chris, Jeff, and Alexander for their support of us. I definitely posted a picture on Patreon during our recording. So if I'm not talking on the recording, I promise I'm still being productive, usually. Sometimes I'm playing games, I'll be honest. But wow, this has been a 2.5 hour episode. What's up?
Sometimes you're doing both.
Well, I can't be productive and play games at the same time, but I can talk and play games at the same time, I'll be honest. I'm good at multitasking. But thank you, everybody, for tuning in for 2.5 hours of mostly Mikhile talking about architectural styles.
It was very good. Very informative. I learned a lot.
I already know what the AKA for this episode art is going to be.
Well, I learned about art
Nouveau.
Yeah, Art Nouveau.
I have a note written down for this episode, AKA talking about various architectural styles makes this podcast sound a lot smarter than it actually is.
All right. Well.
But until the next time, which I have no idea what the next episode is going to be.
We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out. But keep hashtag thinking inverted, and we'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.